Prior to my current life, I used to be in finance. So I have a couple of things to say about handling this new era of humanity, specifically in America, and what that means when it comes to your money. First thing that when we're talking about financial assets, the stock market is going to be fluctuating, and I know it already has been, but we're going to be seeing a lot of shuffling of different companies as they position for movement. Part of what's happening right now is that there's a big transition from the US dollar being the primary unit of measurement for all other currencies in the world. And that's up for grabs right now, China being the main contender. Um, and so prices like gold are stabilizing or going up right now because people don't know where to put their money. So when this comes to a retirement plan, um, if you have the ability to choose what you invest in, choose something that's like general index fund. Like a S&P index. Vanguard is extremely cheap. DOO, I believe, is the call sign for that. But something general where you don't have to personally manage what is inside that. Like a S&P 500 index is just the top 500 companies in the United States, and it doesn't matter what those companies are. They come in and they come out, and the index fund just follows those along. And so regardless of what is happening in our government, companies still want to remain profitable, and companies will still strive to do so. So having your finances invested in something like that is good. Always remember, long term is what goes into investments. So we're talking 5 years or more, that you do not need to access that money, which goes to my next point, which is if you don't have an emergency savings put in place, but you do have money set aside, say in your retirement account, it might be worthwhile, um, slowly but surely selling off some of those assets, like not withdrawing them from a retirement account because you get penalized for that, but selling some of them into a dollar position, so that they are available for you in case of an emergency. Because part of the fluctuation that we're going to be seeing over the next couple of years is jobs are going to be rocking and rolling. You know, some jobs are going to be plentiful and some are going away. I mean, we've already seen a bunch of companies that are laying off people with anticipation that AI and technology will be taking over those positions in the next 12 to 24 months, which means jobs where it's human to human interface is going to be where the skills are needed most. Meaning having a personality, being able to collaborate, being individualized and individualistic are going to be the most valuable assets. Also, if you're interested in things like cryptocurrency, I would be very careful because we're still waiting for a lot of consumer safeguards around those. So the only one I would feel comfortable with is Bitcoin specifically, which Bitcoin is often used as a catch-all for all cryptocurrency, but it is not. It is a specific type of cryptocurrency, and it is decentralized, meaning that there is not a particular person in control of it. So nobody can change the source code that created it. It is just on autopilot, which means that there's nobody that gets to be paid off, that gets to be blackmailed. Like it's just crunching along. And I think we'll see probably a lot of international currencies start to move to Bitcoin as an alternative, because a lot of people, they may not want to use US currency as the international denomination, but they don't want to use the yen either. And so Bitcoin might be a plausible third option. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, but if you do want to put something in there, that's the one I would probably suggest. Um, Aside from that, like I said, being conservative with your finances, being ready to have the rug pulled out from underneath you as organizations need to maneuver and pivot during this time is going to be really important. There's going to be a lot of companies that overexpanded that are going to be contracting, meaning layoffs, and like if you get commissions are going to be cut, that type of thing. So from top down, people are going to be tightening their purse strings. But what I do think that if you don't have a lot of assets to use, being more conscientious in where your assets are going is going to be helpful. So, for example, we are seeing very high gas prices. And a lot of that, like, yes, there's a war, but also, like, that's why we went into Venezuela, was to secure some oil there. So, this is also a price grab for barrels of oil. So, because their electric cars are coming, etc. Like there's a lot of wheels that are turning, and so you can also vote with your money. You can use public transportation more. You can use bike mores or e-bikes, that type of thing, and start opting out of even participating in petrol as much as possible. And then that way, that money that you have can be used on something else, and preferably towards local communities as much as you can. So local businesses, things like that, to support each other through these times, because we're really going to need that. Like everybody's going to be looking for new jobs. Not everybody, but lots of people are going to be looking for new jobs. Lots of people are going to be looking for new opportunities. And there may be people out there that have skill sets that are exactly what you need, but you just need to communicate about it. Because the thing that people have that AI doesn't is the immense amount of adaptability and processing that we can do inside of our minds while having a smile and bringing charisma to the table. So, like I'm transitioning a job now, and everybody was upset because I put in my notice. I'm not leaving till next month, but like part of what gets said about me is like nobody can be as mean and as sweet as I can at the same time, because I'm super duper sassy, and I do my job extremely well, but I do it with a lot of finesse, let's say, and that cannot be replicated, and that goes for you too. Like you are more than your resume. You are more than the data that can be collected on your productivity. And we can start kind of gently opting out of that type of rat race rigmarole with our money, and also the way we earn our money and the way we spend our money and the way we invest our money. So, for what it's worth, here's my 2 cents on how to handle the ending of this fourth turning and this new era of humanity.